Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can really script it any better, and I thought we played really well tonight, and that our defense could have been a little better, but just to do it in this fashion, I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful to be surrounded by so many people that have kind of been my foundation and everything that I've done since I was a young little girl, and I started crying when watching that video just because like I'm just filled with so much gratitude and love, and the way these fans support women's basketball is so special, and yeah, I mean, you all knew I was going to shoot a logo 3 for the record. Come on now.
Take us through the shot. We're coming up the floor.
Yeah.
Pull up for the shot. Just take us through beginning now.
Well, I thought about doing it a couple possessions earlier, but I was a little tired, so I needed to catch my breath a little bit. But yeah, I think I kind of stepped back to my left a little bit and was able to get it off and went in and then celebrated. And I honestly thought Coach Butter was going to call the timeout before I had to go play defense, but she didn't, so I had to go play defense. But honestly, like warming up, like my shot just felt good, so I knew it was going to be kind of one of those nights, and kind of played with a little bit more pep in my step, and I knew that's what this team needed after coming off of a loss, and just lucky. Like my teammates, I'm just so thankful they let me be me, and I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for them. So yeah, I'm just really thankful.
Did you go into the game wanting to get it done quickly? So, I mean, it was less than 3 minutes.
Honestly, like that was never really my goal to get it done really fast, but made my first couple shots, so was able to get another one up pretty fast, and it was nice to get it done there fairly quick so we could just kind of move on and focus on winning the basketball game. And I think you got to give Michigan a lot of credit. They played really well. They made a lot of tough shots tonight, and you know, they didn't make it easy on us. We switched up our defense a lot, but what I'm most proud of is, you know, they played box and one, and we didn't freak out. We just did us. What we've worked on all week, and we made some tough shots, and honestly our lead grew when they went to the box and won, and I think that just shows the area of growth that we took a stride in and got better in. So I'm proud of our team, and you know, I still think there's a lot of things we can clean up on defense, but other than that, not really.
Did you at least give Hannah a heads up that her record was going down today?
She said she passed the torch to me, so I was like, oh, Hannah, that's so kind of you. But Hannah will break my record. She better break my record playing here for another couple of years. And Hannah's just hilarious. She's asked why I had to do that, but I should have made a couple more layups, honestly. So I think that just speaks to our culture and the team Coach Bluter's built here is, you know, you just want to see your teammates succeed. And, you know, I was so happy for her the other night. And, you know, I'm perfectly fine with Hannah going out and scoring 50 next game. So hopefully she does that.
Caitlin, you've garnered a ton of media attention. I don't know how much of it you read or watch, but I guess standing there watching the video, having people say nice things about you, like, how did you process that, and were you aware it was coming?
I was not aware it was coming, and I think that's what kind of hits you, like when it hits you the most is like, and yeah, there's been so many famous and cool people and people I idolize, you know, growing up that say a lot of really nice things about me, but when it's people that have had your back through the ups and downs and been there every step of the journey, whether it was good or bad, and have seen the hard days, have seen the good days, and I think that's when it means the most. My teammates, my Mon and McKenna that are in there, the 2 people that I've given so much to this program, and, you know, without those 2, I don't know where I am, and Kate and Gab, and our coaches, and obviously my parents, like my 2 brothers, like it just makes me pretty emotional. And like I said, I think that hits a lot closer to home just because, you know, they've seen me go through some really hard losses, some really great wins, but also they've been there pushing me to be my very best and allowing me to dream ever since I was, you know, a young girl playing with all the boys growing up. So it's just really special, and I didn't plan on crying tonight, but it got me a little bit.
Caitlin, I'm going to follow up on that. You're talking about as a little girl. What would 6-year-old Caitlin Clark think of you, 22-year-old Caitlin Clark?
Oh man, that's a great question. I think they would pinch myself to like make me wake up from this dream. And, you know, even when we go lose at Nebraska, like I still wake up and I'm so thankful every single day because, like, I don't know, like I'm playing in front of 15,000 people. I get to do it with my best friends. I get to play the game that I absolutely love more than anything. And I know one day basketball is going to end. So, you know, one game, one win, one loss never, you know, gets me too high or too low. And I think that's just been the kind of the story of my career, and that's been something I've had to learn, is be able to stay steady and stay calm for this team. And yeah, I think I'm just thankful more than anything. I think my 6-year-old self would be proud of where I am. Maybe not be surprised, maybe be surprised at the magnitude that I'm on right now, but also I was the same competitive, fiery person that I am today. So not much has ever really changed in that regard. But I think it would just be proud and, proud of the way I've worked for this more than anything. Nothing was ever given, and just work hard every single day and try to make your dreams come true.
What did you say to her?
Caitlin, the focus of everything's kind of been on you the last few weeks especially, but
Yeah.
for a lot of the season. Does it feel like this is a kind of the perfect time to now have to focus on Iowa and maybe the team as opposed to just constantly
Absolutely, I would love that. And I think, obviously getting this record is tremendous and has to be celebrated. And there's been so many people to come before me and, lay such a great foundation for women's basketball, and that has to be celebrated too. And I'm just very thankful for that. But like you said, we're getting into the best part of basketball season. These are the times where, your team really shows who they are. And I always believe Coach Bluter has us playing our best basketball end of February, beginning of March, and into March. And I really think we are. Obviously, you lose a game here and there, but that's what makes you learn, and that's what makes you get better. And absolutely, I think, Iowa basketball is at such a high right now, and it's so fun to watch, and people love supporting it. And, we have some fun home games left. We got to go on the road for 2 really great tests, and just trying to enjoy every single second, because this team is special. And even Kate and Gab and Molly, they've given so much to this program that they need to be celebrated too. And they don't always get the light to shine really bright on them, and they should, because I'm nowhere without those 3. And yeah, I think that's really important. And going forward, it's all Iowa basketball, and that's what it should be.
Caitlin, do you vividly remember the first game you played here, and how did you get from there to here?
Yeah, I do. You and I. There was no one here. I saw some clips of me playing the other day. I was like, oh man, I look a lot different. My hair's a lot longer. I'm very, very scrawny. I have absolutely no muscle definition. But a lot of my game is the exact same. So that was funny to watch. And it's crazy how fast time flies. And I think that's the biggest thing. It feels like just yesterday I was playing that game with nobody in the stands and having to wear a mask on the bench and only our parents here. But it's just kind of cool to see the evolution of, what this has become. And it takes time to build something like this. And obviously Coach Bluter has built such a great program here. But, I feel like we've kind of taken it to another level. The fandom has gone to another level. And it's been cool to kind of watch that evolution since I've stepped on campus as well.
How early into today's game did you really decide that you were going to go for this record? And was it just a feel thing or a decision?
I think, well, honestly, during warm-ups, my shot felt pretty good. So, usually, as a shooter, the ball just comes off your hand a little better some nights other than others. And, yeah, when you make a couple shots as a shooter, it's like a green light just to get another one up, and that's exactly what it was. So I'm glad I made my first 3 and just kind of launched the second and went for it and went in. And, yeah, I guess the rest is history. So.
An emotional person and
Not really. I'm not
Okay,
that
so
emotional.
I was just curious, what was the one thing that kind of made you cry, or 2 things?
Definitely my parents at the beginning. That's definitely what got me, and my brothers for sure. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate it.
Excited about this night, just to be a part of it. She's such a special player, and something, the University of Iowa is the right place for this to happen. It absolutely is. This is a place that has supported basketball, women's basketball, for such a long time, and anything can happen here. I mean, we show it over and over again. So Iowa's a special place. Our marketing department, I thought, did an unbelievable job celebrating this accomplishment. I thought it was wonderful that she hits a logo 3 to put her over. I intended to call a timeout, but it happened so fast I couldn't get it out. I also, the crowd was amazing. I mean, the crowd, the energy, the appreciation by our crowd, and there's nothing like Iowa Hawkeye fans, and we know that, and we're thankful for that. And I just also want to say about Michigan. Michigan came in here in a tough scenario, right? I mean, they're playing in a tough situation. I thought they played a great game. I also want to tell you they gave Caitlin a gift after the game, and every one of those players wrote her a note. I am so glad that we have people in the Big Ten that understand the importance of this and the importance for women's basketball, the importance for the Big Ten. I just think Michigan, that was just a really classy way for them to handle this, and I appreciate Kim in what she did.
Lisa, could you have drawn it up any better? A transition logo 3, is that what you had in mind as kind of that storybook shot?
It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect for her to go over and reach this record with a logo 3.
Lisa, yes, a lot's been made of the fact that Kelsey had 57 in the game, that she set the record 5-6 years ago. I mean, she had 23 after the first quarter tonight. I mean, was that something, do you think that she had that in mind at all, because she's such a competitor?
I don't think she ever thought about it. I've never heard her mention that. I don't think so.
What do moments like this mean to your program?
You know, it's such great momentum, you know, for our program, but I mean, it's special because, again, you know, it's Iowa. I mean, this is a great place for girls and women in sports, and it seems fitting that it should be here.
Lisa, that first quarter just felt sort of like one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But as a coach, Caitlin has those moments, has those stretches. How often do you allow yourself to just sort of like appreciate her rather than be like 100% coach, just watch a little bit?
You know, I usually don't, but tonight, that's why I was determined to call that timeout and just to let her enjoy it. And we really didn't talk in the timeout. We just kind of all sat in our thoughts, and I just wanted her to have some space to think about what she'd accomplished and just to enjoy the moment. And usually, that's not me. I don't burn timeouts for anything.
Lisa, I mean, Caitlin has every reason to be, ego-driven based on what she's accomplished, but it seems like when the lights are brightest on her, she tries to shine it on everybody else. I guess, can you just kind of speak to having that sort of, not just caliber of player, but caliber of leader that wants to just shine on more than her?
Well, she's one over 1,000 assists. I mean, this is getting downplayed with her points because her points are so magnificent, but I mean, her assists are incredible, and you know, that's what makes her such a special player. But I'm telling you, every woman on that team loves her. They are not jealous of her. They know how hard she works for it, and they know, you know, what she brings to our team. So I'm very thankful that I have a group of women that understand that.
We don't see Caitlin get emotional all that often. Was there any moment after the game or during the game that made you emotional at all?
You know, when she hit it, definitely took a second to get back into reality, or kind of, it's pretty surreal at that point. And then after the game, just to see, you know, how happy she is with her family. And, you know, family means a lot to Caitlin. She's definitely family, relationship first, which is wonderful.
Did you hear everybody holler one more year? What did you think
I
of that?
paid them. I thought it was a pretty good chance, so.
I asked Caitlin this, I was going to ask you a similar question. What would you think as a younger kid yourself, if you could see this now, what would you think of all of this as a younger kid looking back?
Yeah, there's no way, you know, I could imagine this. I can remember sitting on my couch with my parents in my home in Marion and watching Billie Jean King play Bobby Riggs and thinking, wow, you know, we can really play sports. You know, we really have this chance, and watching the 72 Olympics and thinking, wow, we get, you know, this is a possibility for women. I'm going to have to say I was pretty excited last night. Billie Jean King called and expressed her excitement for our program and for this record, and that was pretty special to me because she's always been an idol to me, somebody that, a shero to me, as you would say, as she would say. I couldn't imagine this. There's no way. There's just no way you can even fathom this as a little kid growing up when I did in pre-Title IX. It's unimaginable.
What does that say about where we are now as it's your program or women's basketball in general, and what Caitlin has done for that?
Yeah, and I think Title IX had a big part to do with that. I think it gave women an opportunity to compete, and now we have women that were first those Title IX babies that are mothers and grandmothers that understand the value of sport and the lessons that can be learned from sport. And, they want to support it. And we didn't have that, 20 years ago. So I'm really thankful that, we have this. And again, at a school like Iowa that has been so, really concerned about gender equity since Dr. Grant was here, and somebody that really did so much for gender equity in Title IX and was impactful in that. I'm just so thankful that it happened here at Iowa.
So, from a team standpoint, as glorious as it was tonight, is there some relief now that you can move on with the season?
There is a little bit, actually. And I think you saw that in Caitlin's play after she made the record, too, right? It's been a little bit of a distraction, but a good distraction, right? Like, you want these kind of distractions for your team. But at the same time, it's time now for us to really focus on making our team better and getting ready for Indiana next week and the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament.
There's still an opportunity that she could, the AIW records and even Pete Maravich's NCAA men's record are attainable. Do you think she's going to just approach that same way she does this? If it comes, but that's not really something she's focused on.
I think so. I'm very aware that Lynette Woodard has the record for women's basketball of all time, pre-NCAA, and that was before a three-point, shot. So I'm very aware of that, and, I'd love to see her get it.
Coach, knowing that the NCAA recognizes Tara Vanderveer's coaching victories, shouldn't the NCAA recognize Lynette Woodard's scoring?
Well, I haven't thought about it, but that's probably a really valid point. We played basketball before the NCAA, and so I don't know why we have this, NCAA records, but, I think that makes really good sense.
It's been a heck of a calendar year for you in a lot of ways. Going to the Final Four, going to the championship game, playing at Kinnick and having 56,000, and then tonight. What's this been like for you? I know at times you do stop and kind of pinch yourself, wow, this is real, but is this just another one in that line, or is it better or the same?
It's been a journey, and I'm just so thankful. I honestly, I'm filled with gratitude that I get to be here, that I get to be a part of basketball now, versus 20, 25 years ago, that I get to coach these great women. It's been a great ride. It's been amazing, and I'm so thankful.
What would Dr. Grant say?
Oh, that's the only thing, like after, the Final Four last year, that's my biggest regret is that Dr. Grant wasn't there to see it. I'm really sad that she's not here to witness this, because she would have loved it. She would have been so excited at the Final Four. She would have been walking around like a peacock. She just would have been so happy. So I'm very thankful that, she hired me 24 years ago, but I keep a picture of her and I on my desk that she gave to me, and I think about her often.
Do you remember the very first time you heard the name Caitlin Clark, this kid over in West Des Moines?
I think she was in 7th grade, but she might have been in 6th grade. It was around that time, 6th or 7th grade. I don't think I saw her till she was in 7th grade.
She had the best scoring defense coming into this game and one of the best three-point defenses. How was your offense able to be so successful against that defense?
We love to run. We had 25 fast break points tonight. That's pretty good. I think we were a force tonight. Nobody was going to stop us, especially coming off the loss. It was really disheartening, and, having a full team tonight was good for us. So, it really is hard to stop Caitlin Clark. It is really, people try to bring different things at her, and it's really hard.
Caitlin mentioned that Michigan ran a box and won tonight. Said that you guys played well against it. Just talk about the growth from the last game to now against the defense.
Yeah, we weren't expecting it against Nebraska, but it shocked me the way that we handled it, both the players and myself, definitely. But today we were ready for it, and they had not shown a box and one, at least in the 6 games that we watched. It doesn't surprise us anymore because people have to figure out something to do. And that's kind of a logical thing. And so we worked on it this week, and I think they handled it well.
Coach, what is it about Caitlin that allows her to be so comfortable in the spotlight? Like, the bigger the spotlight gets, ESPN, NBC, everyone's here, she seems to handle it. It's almost like she really enjoys it. Like, that's an exciting part of it for her as well, the spotlight.
I think she does enjoy it. I think I mean, who doesn't? Like, if you work that hard at your craft, don't you want to share it with everybody? Don't you want to express it? Don't you want to show what you're capable of and what you've put so much time and effort and work into? So I think she absolutely enjoys it, and I want all my players to enjoy it. I want them to love being out on that court and play with that passion and that excitement all the time.
Caitlin has cameras following her around everywhere, all the time. What's something that you've seen, especially as she's been chasing this record, that maybe the cameras haven't seen? Something that people really ought to know that they don't yet?
Yeah, you know, today and in our at the end of our shoot around, I had our women go around a circle and every one of them say something they liked about Caitlin that wasn't basketball related. Because to me, everybody knows Caitlin is the basketball player. There's so much more to Caitlin than that. She's the kindest person. She's thoughtful. She's generous. She's funny. And so that was really fun to hear her teammates just express what she means to them as a person. Because sometimes we can forget that she is a person and not just this unbelievable basketball player.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you for being here, everybody.